am so glad you are here. It is Energy Sunday in my world. I'm Liz, and I apologize for being just a little late for those of you who tune in for the live. We were having a technical glitch. The platform just was overloaded, so we couldn't get in. But I'm here now. Yay! And I wanted to talk a little bit about incorporating stones, crystals into energy practice, especially if the person you are working on is right in front of you. You can absolutely incorporate stones and crystals with distance healing if you're doing something, say, like the distance healing available in Reiki. But I love it especially when the person is laying on my table right in front of me. And there's more than one reason I love this. Even before you get into anything maybe woo-woo about the stones themselves, just the weight of the stone on the body, I think, has a big impact. I think it spreads relaxation to place a stone on the forehead or on the chest, or perhaps even immediately around an area you're working on so that the stones are touching the person but not under them, or maybe it's a spot where you can't balance a stone well on the person. I just think that immediately releases some tension because the person knows why they're here. The person knows they're here for energy work. They're here for allowing their body to flow a little more smoothly, energetically, align themselves a little bit more with the will and intention of the entire universe when you get right down to it. So I think that little bit of weight can make a huge difference. And if they understand the stones you're using, so much the better. But I wouldn't spend their dime explaining the stones very much. I would ask permission to use the stones, maybe give them a brief idea of why you're using a particular stone, even stating it as an intention as you place the stone on them so that you're not spending a whole lot of time not doing the actual energy work they're there for. But once you get past that basic, the weight feels pleasant. Even the coolness at first when you put a stone on can feel pleasant. As it gradually warms from the body's heat, that can also feel amazing and wonderful. And all of those things can contribute to the healing process. But then when you layer on the idea that these stones usually have a crystalline formation of some kind, some don't, but that matrix itself is vibratory. It responds to specific vibrations, and it's felt then it will echo and enhance and amplify those vibrations to the human body as you work with them, should your work hit those vibrations. That might mean that the stone changes in sensation to that person even after it's warmed up to body temperature. They might say, hey, that stone is really cold now, or hey, that stone is really warm now. And if that happens, if you're the practitioner, the energy worker, I'm going to recommend you go back to that spot and just feel it out to discover whether this is part of the healing process for that person and it's meant to do what it's doing, in which case you can reassure them and let them know, hey, that's fantastic. That means what's working is working even better because the stone is there. Or you can feel it and go, oh, no, they're done now. That's why it shifted. That's why the feeling of the stone changed on their body. Whether it's hot and cold are the most likely, but they also might say it gets prickly feeling or itchy, or any sort of sensation might occur to them. I have even had a client say, it now feels green there, or it now feels blue there. And I have to go back and test, because green to some people is going to mean that it's about growth and healing and all kinds of wonderful things. Green to some people just means like moldy and growth. And you want to go back and check, because you don't know what their perception is of that color. So you want to go back, feel out that energy and see what you think as well. And then let them know what you're sensing as you continue to work. And obviously, if the sensation changes, you want to come back with your energy work to that area, maybe a little more often than you'd originally planned, because things are shifting and changing there. And that's huge. So if you have tumbled stones, crystal points, anything that can comfortably sit on the body that's small enough, anything from a smaller tumbled stone to, say, something maybe this big, not necessarily a sphere this big, but if it's a selenite rod or if it is a clear quartz crystal that's on the larger side, that can feel amazing. So I'd encourage you to play with those things. If you are an energy healer or you're working on yourself for energy healing and you want to incorporate stones, actually placing them on the body can be amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I see you out there. Love that. I didn't put comments on, so hey, if you commented. I'm Liz, and on behalf of myself and the rest of the crew here at Magus Books and Herbs, thank you so much for all the magical things that you do in your life and for those around you, as well as the little magical things you can do right here in social media land. I know you know what they are. Hopefully we'll see you soon here at the shop in Minneapolis or online at magusbooks.com. Blessed be.